Hello, YouTube. It's still Wednesday, August 16th, 2023, 10:52 p.m. And yeah, I'm a little late leaving the lot. I kind of did something stupid. Imagine me doing something stupid. Yeah, I got into my car and I was ready to drive off, and I'm parked at the other side of the shop building where I normally park. And I'm thinking about shooting a little video on the way home, which I'm currently doing right now. And then I realize I have absolutely none of my phones with me, none of them, because I left them in the center console of the car I was using as the shag tonight. So I got this whole box of treasures here. I'll explain more about that later. But yeah, most all of that was in the back seat of the car that I was using as a shag, which was a really nice car. It was I didn't see the year, probably last year's model, maybe the year before, but it was a Toyota Corolla. Nothing exotic or special, because we're not supposed to use cars that are exotic or special for a shag, but certainly something comfortable that I enjoyed driving. Had nice cold air conditioning. In fact, the only thing I could really say negative about the car is anytime I drove for more than a few feet with my seatbelt off, it had a really aggressive, annoying kind of alarm that came on. And I had one time that I drove it not very far, just a couple lanes over, with my seatbelt off and the door slightly ajar, the driver's door slightly ajar. And if you're wondering, well, why would you do that? I'm in and out of the car a lot. And I knew I was going to be just moving just a very, very short distance and then popping right out of the car. So when I shut the door, it wasn't fully shut. I'm already in motion. I'm not worried about falling out of the door. I'm not hitting a roadway. I'm just, yeah, whatever. I'm coming out the door in a minute. It's a dark, whoop-de-doo. But boy, its alarm just straight up got loud. Just loud. Oh, I'm trying to think about the best way to get out of here. So I did spend the night with Priscilla last night. I think I mentioned that. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if I mentioned that in the video as I was heading into work. Every time I would start to get it low going with whatever I was talking about, it seemed like the iPhone just immediately overheated. So I'm not sure if I mentioned what happened with me and Priscilla at all last night. I might not have. But I did end up deciding, because I was really on the fence when I ended my video last night. I was really on the fence as to whether I wanted to go join her and April, and I know I mentioned it a little bit, but whether I wanted to go join her and April at the Dirty Drummer, or whether I just wanted to go home and call it a night. I was pretty tired and wanting to work on my blog. That's the thing. And I decided to go join them, since she was still messaging me and said they were still there. And wow, that's an odd place for a vehicle to be parked. Not my problem. I'm just gonna keep on moving. But wow, that was extremely odd. I'm not sure how well it showed up in the video, but there was a vehicle over the curb on the right side of the road, in the space in the landscaping between the curb and the sidewalk, at a pretty peculiar angle. I mean, it did have its hazard flashers on, but wow, what the hell was that about? Now, it just occurred to me, I have not got my sip and save yet for today. So I should probably do that. Oh, wow, this entrance is dark. Holy crap. I don't know that I've ever turned right there at night. I've never noticed just how dark this freeway entrance is. Wow. So yeah, I definitely have not got my sip and save drink yet for today, so I should do that right now. Anyway, as I was saying, I ended up joining April and Priscilla And I feel like I mentioned that a little bit. So pardon me if I'm being redundant. And fuck that light that didn't stay green long enough for me to go through it as well. Obviously, it's a smart light. It's timed for through traffic on Jefferson, which is not a bad thing, but it's just so frustrating when you see a light turn green like that as you're approaching it. It just does a quick cycle. And of course, the fastest thing for me to do is just wait it out. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I want to stop at Circle K. I'm going back to Priscilla's, by the way. We actually had a really good night last night. I wouldn't say it went like I'd like it to go. It wasn't quite my rock and roll fantasy, as it were, but it wasn't bad, and it's certainly better than any night we've had together in a long time. And I think I'll leave it at that. April did seem a little bit surprised that Priscilla grabbed her stuff out of her vehicle when we left the karaoke bar around 1 and moved it into my vehicle. And of course, my vehicle was just full of crap and didn't really have space for it. Plus, I had a bag from work yesterday that I think had some small containers of sealed containers of applesauce in it, which I found in a rental car. There's something I should talk about, finding shit in rental cars, because that's been interesting the last couple of days. Occasionally I find food in rental cars, and obviously I'm not messing with anything that's already been opened, but somebody leaves unopened food, and it's something I actually like, hell yeah, I'm taking that. This guy had a whole bunch of single-serve containers, unopened containers of applesauce, which I'm sure he left there because I don't think that's something you can take on a plane. I think that's considered. TSA has weird rules about liquids on planes, and heaven forbid you do some kind of a terrorist attack with a single-serve package of applesauce. Like, I don't think anybody actually does that, but they're protecting our skies from that. So hey, dude, thanks for the applesauce, whoever you were. I left some of it in my bag in the fridge, thinking I needed today, which I didn't, but that's a whole separate deal. And then I grabbed some and threw it in another bag that was mostly full of recycling. And while I'm not trying to recycle every can and plastic bottle I see throughout the day on the Hertz lot, it does make me feel good to recycle my own. I feel like I'm still kind of sticking with my personal commitment to recycle my containers. And I do occasionally grab a few extra cans. It's such a feeble amount of money these days, but it seems like every time I cash in my recycling, that extra, $50 or $60 that I get comes in handy. So, whatever, they accumulate just for me, picking them up when it's convenient to pick them up, and, a few cans throughout the day going into a plastic bag in the shag that I'm working in. Yeah, whatever. But anyway, yeah, I moved that bag to get it, I moved that bag to get it out of Priscilla's way. And, it's possible I left out on the SkyTrain. It's possible it never even made it all the way to my car last night. I'm not 100% sure. My memory ain't all that. All I know is that when I got in the car after leaving Priscilla's place early this afternoon, I didn't think anything at all about putting my sunshade in, and it was like a goddamn oven in my car, and I couldn't find that bag. And to be honest, I'm not so worried about the loss of 3 small single-serving containers of applesauce as much as I am what might happen if they just explode from the heat of my car, because that's a mess I don't want to deal with. So yeah, it was a good night with Priscilla. And morning, not as much. She did that thing again where she got out of the bed with me and then went and laid down on the couch and fell back asleep. And I'm trying to get it through her head how much that bothers me. And granted, I could just make a point not to care. But I'm just, if I stay the night with a woman, unless she's getting up to go somewhere because she has to be somewhere, or she has to get up and go to work, or maybe she's up cleaning. That's always nice when it happens. But aside from that, like, I'm not so fond of waking up alone when I go to bed with a woman. I like, you know, if there was late night adult playtime before we went to sleep, I'd kind of like to wake up together and kind of start the day like we ended the day. That's an optimal, you know, significant other kind of relationship for me. That's kind of a big deal to me. So yeah, I was kind of disappointed to find her on her couch with her like headphone with the microphone on, talking to somebody on the phone that was obviously a personal call. And I mean, I probably laid in the bed for about 30-40 minutes before I finally got up, just kind of dinking around with stuff on my phones. And I heard her talking and assumed that she was in her home office actually at work. Now, she did tell me that she had some doctor's appointments today, but usually when she has doctor's appointments and she works from home, she'll work until it's time to leave for her appointment, and you know, and then sign off and leave for her appointment. Or sometimes it goes in the other direction. She'll have a morning appointment and she'll come back from the appointment and go to work. Now, I woke up alone. I woke up at around noon-ish, so I have no idea. You know, I had no idea. Those guys to the left where I pulled up look sketchy as fuck. Yeah, I had no idea what her deal was. So, I just assumed, I heard her talking, I assumed she was working. So yeah, kind of disappointed that she wasn't working and chose not to be with me when I woke up. And how I deal with that tonight, I don't know. I've got some thoughts. And here begins my game of Circle K roulette, trying to find a usable soda fountain. So this one here has no large cups and no straws. I don't know what else they're missing. When it said no straws, I'm thinking, well, I might have a straw in the car, and there's usually straws at Priscilla's place. But yeah, no large cups is a deal breaker. Alright, we got those guys loitering in front of the Circle K. We got those other guys loitering in front of the Circle K. Always bums loitering in front of the Circle K. And it's unfortunate the Circle K, unlike QT, doesn't have any kind of security to run them off. So, hey, none of them messed with my car, so I guess I should just count my blessings. So I guess next Circle K down the line would be 36th and Oak. Priscilla said she was making me like a mushroom burger, and just to clarify, it's not a burger with like mushrooms on it. It's actually a ginormous mushroom that she's frying up like a burger, which she's made those for me before. I really like them. I forget what the hell those types of mushrooms are called, but I like them. She said she had one of those the other day. She showed me a picture of it while we were over at the bar. It's like, oh damn. Wow, my transmission just did something awful right there. You showed me a picture of it while we were at the bar last night singing karaoke, and it looked delicious. Oh yeah, when she said she was making those again tonight, and this is maybe about a half hour before the end of my shift, so a little over an hour ago, I said, well, that sounds delicious. I'm off in a half hour. And she's like, well, I'll make you one. Come over. So now I haven't gotten a text back from her since I got off, I don't think. But yeah, I'm determined to get my Sip and Save drink for the day. I don't have that many more days left on my subscription. I think I only got like 4 or 5 days left, so I'm trying to get my drinks. I'm on the fence as to whether I'm going to renew it or not. It's still a good deal, you know, as far as $9.99 for a drink a day from Circle K. But there's the days that I take transit to work, which at this point is like 5 days a week. Wow, check it out. We got another fun bum picking through the trash here. Right there. looking through the trash with his stolen shopping cart. And is the guy from Circle K rolling over to ask him to leave? No, he's just doing his job and trying to pretend the guy ain't there. And I can't say I blame him. Another bum on the right side of the Circle K, kind of hiding in the shadows. So many sketchy people at the Circle K. Hopefully I can go in and out and get my drink without them fucking with my car. So it turns out the person to the right of the building is a woman. She actually kind of looks like she'd clean up well, but she had a cigarette dangling out of her mouth the entire time I've noticed her, which is, yeah, as a non-smoker, there are a few things that make a woman less attractive to me than a cigarette dangling out of her mouth. I've said it many times and I'll say it again. I would rather rim a woman that bathes than kiss a woman who smokes. Yeah, she actually just walked up here and asked if I had 50 cents. And I probably do, but you know what? I work really, really, really hard for my money. I suppose I could have asked her what she was prepared to do for that 50 cents. But nah, she lost me at the cigarette in her mouth. Oh, I really need to clean my windshield. It is disgusting. Well, kind of disappointed with this particular Circle K soda fountain as well. They have plenty of large cups, plenty of straws, plenty of lids, and the ice was working great. So I'm like, wow, this is unusually good for a Circle K soda fountain. I said, well, you got everything, and I mentioned all this stuff. I said, you're ahead of the two Circle K's closest to you. He's like, well, that's good. By the way, the cashier was cool as fuck, the guy that walked out. And it was really cool. But then I was like, oh man, but none of the lemonades are working. And the little mini soda fountain that used to have the 4 different flavors of the Circle K water on it, now has got one spot that's unmarked and the other are 3 different varieties of lemonade, which I could really go for lemonade right now. That would absolutely hit the spot. Like, it's 11:17. Well, you know, give or take a minute, because the Saturn clock's never that accurate. But yeah, the Saturn clock says 11:17. This time of night, I'm really not wanting soda. I mean, I might be wanting soda if I was still going out, but I'm planning on staying in Priscilla. So yeah, I'm not wanting soda. I'm not wanting caffeine. I've already worked for the night. I'm hoping to, you know, sleep well. And so yeah, I want something not carbonated, not caffeinated. They don't have the Circle K water there anymore. I'm thinking, okay, I get one of these varieties of lemonade. I said, all your lemonade things are dead. And the one guy's like, yeah, that hasn't worked as long as I've worked here. Now, I don't know how long he's worked there. I don't think I've ever seen that guy there before. But regardless, like, and there was a guy that appeared to be homeless that was inside filling his soda. And said, oh yeah, that never works. I'm like, oh, okay. I do remember it once upon a time working and dispensing Circle K water, but yeah, clearly it doesn't work now. So usually I can always count on the pink brisk, which I think is a Circle K exclusive, and I really like that stuff. But yeah, they didn't have that at all. So that basically took it down to 3 different varieties of Powerade, and I'm not particularly fond of Powerade, period. Not particularly fond of Powerade, but yeah, down to three varieties of Powerade, one of which is sugar-free, so yeah, forget about that. And the other one, they've got the mango blast, or whatever the hell it's called, and that's not awful. So I go to, ooh, hello bright lights. Ooh, looks like somebody is getting repoed right now. That just screams repo to me. So other than those bright lights he's loading with, that tow truck has no other lights on, and he's hooking. He doesn't have anybody there letting him into the car. He's just hooking up and taking away. That was a repo. Definitely. Pay your car note, people. This is why I pay cash for cars. I got enough stress in my life. I don't want to ever have to stress about the repo man. Oh, by the way, there's a channel I've been watching lately that features a dancing repo man. I'll try to remember to link one of those videos to this this video description, because that guy and everybody says his videos are staged. Probably they are, but goddamn, they're entertaining. I just love the way he does his little success dance as he's loading the cars, as the people behind him getting their cars repoed are freaking out. Oh God, what was I saying? So Circle K, Circle K. The mango just puts out water, and I'm glad I caught it before I wasted my ice. You know, I was like, grr. So I ended up having to get the blue power. My daughter loves this stuff, but I'm not a fan. But hey, at least I got my drinks. That's something, right? Anyway, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm surprised Priscilla hasn't texted me back. Hopefully she's still awake. But yeah, thanks for coming with me on the drive after work. Kind of feels weird driving after work. I haven't been doing this for a while.